everyone, I am Nixie and we are here today to talk all things manga from October and November. So as you can see, we've got quite a bit to go through. So this is basically new releases from kind of October, November. I may have missed one or two things out. Also just like volumes that have already released that I picked up, and then I also have I also do a like a monthly out of print BL haul as well. So we can go through everything today. The way that I'm going to do it is we'll go through new releases first. I'll just read the synopsis because that'll explain the things a lot better than what I probably can, and then I'll give my thoughts on volumes that I've read and what I thought about them. So yeah, let's start. I hope you're ready, guys. There's quite a lot. So we're going to start off with Seven Seas first because they had pretty much the most releases that at least I picked up anyway. So we'll start off with I'm Not Meat. This is volume 2. So this is Ushara, by the way, I'm going to butcher everyone's name, sorry, sees all women as dangerous predators, all women that is, except for Azumi. For the first time, Kunio has a real connection to a member of the opposite sex. No fear, no anxiety, just him and her, until he sticks his foot in his mouth and it all comes crumbling down. His attempts to mend things with Azumi only make her angrier, and worse yet, they put him in the path of another woman looking to devour him. Now, I spoke about volume 1 in my last video, I think. This is so funny, and the way that the women are depicted in this is hilarious, but unfortunately, we've all come into contact with women that are like this, that are just like, you know, it is basically, you know, assault and harassment. But it's kind of like that they think, you know, the women said they can get away with it. But it's so funny the way that he sees women as these apex predators, and the way that he sees them. I try not to show anything explicit, but yeah, the way that he sort of sees them as these like massive apex predators is really funny, and I feel sorry for the guy. You know, all he wants to do is find love, and these women are making it extremely hard for him to overcome his fear, and I'm not surprised. The way that he gets treated is quite horrendous, but this is a great read. I'm looking forward to volume 3 coming out. But yeah, definitely pick it up. This is from the Ghost Ship imprint from Seven Seas, but I highly recommend this. It's so funny. Next we have Ex Yakuza and Stray Kitten. So this is a obviously a new release. So this is an adorable kitty saved from a life on the streets by a menacing former gangster who has a secret soft side. After being abandoned in the cold rain, tiny kitty Sabu should have been grateful to find a new home. But when he's rescued by Jin, whose every atom screams Yakuza, Sabu suspects he's out of the frying pan and into the fire. Yet Jin's scarred hands and face hide a sweet man beneath, a man who pampers kitties with the baths and bottle feedings. So this is actually from the perspective of Sabu, the kitten, which I didn't realise, so that makes it even more adorable. But yeah, he literally thinks his life is going to end. I mean, he does, Jin kind of does look menacing, but yeah, everything is like, this is it, I'm gonna die, and then actually like it's a bath, or you know, he's been swaddled, or he's been played with and stuff. But yeah, this is such a cute read. There is like more of a storyline than just like little interactions between the two, which is quite interesting. I'm intrigued to see how that develops as well. But yeah, such a cute read. It's really funny as well. So I recommend this one. Looking forward to the next volumes as well. And then we have Kimono Jihin, volume 2. So this is in a quiet rural village, livestock have been died off in a strange manner. Inugami, a detective of the occult, is summoned from Tokyo to solve the mystery. He meets a boy scorned by the villagers who call him Dorotobo after a yokai that dwells in the muddy fields. Inugami soon learns that there is more to the boy than meets the eye, and vice versa. A monstrously good time with this action-packed mystery about a detective and a supernatural boy investigating the occult, which inspired the anime. So there is an anime of this as well. I really enjoyed the first volume, like it really did draw me in. I have yet to read this one though, the next volume, but I'm eager to get stuck into it because I really enjoyed the first volume. So next we have volume 2 of Momo the Blood Taker. Like, how gorgeous are these like covers? And it's quite a chunky volume as well from Seven Seas. So this is Tokyo is played by a string of murders where the victims are drained of blood. While the city whispers about vampires, Detective Mikogami Keigo seeks to avenge his murdered lover as he stalks the man with two faces. Mikogami catches the attention of a mysterious silver-haired girl. So it is a vampire story. I really liked the first volume, like it really sucked you in. There's quite a bit of gore, which is kind of to be expected from vampire stories, I think. Action packed as well, and I really like the artwork as well, and the characters as well. Like we got a bit of backstory from volume 1 of Mikogami, and this character, the man with two faces, which we saw in volume 1 towards the end, is very intriguing and quite a scary character. Again, I've yet to read volume 2. I don't know what I'm playing about, why I haven't read it yet. But I really enjoyed the first volume. Like, I've got a soft spot for any sort of vampire stories anyway. So yes, I'm looking forward to actually getting stuck into this as well. It is going to be a bit more of a long read, because it is a chunkier volume, but yeah, it's been really good so far. I definitely recommend it. Next we have Crossbow Love, Otaku versus Punk. So this is Haname and Mi are continuing to develop their relationship slowly, and still neither realise that the other is also a cross-dressing guy. Things get even crazier when Shumi's punk bro Kaneki manages to sniff out his crush. When Hana becomes Kaneki's stalking victim, Mei leaps in to protect her, but when Kaneki sees the strong-willed and powerful Mei, he falls in love at first sight. So I have volume 1 as well. I'm yet to read that. There's been just so many releases coming out that I'm like kind of falling back on like my TBR list. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this. I've heard that it's quite sweet as well, so I'm quite interested to pick this up. I feel like it's going to be cute, more on the like wholesome side. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one as well. And then we finally have Classmates Blanc. This cover, I'm so glad that they kept like in the keeping of the like Japanese covers as well, because that was in 2 volumes, one with each face. So I'm so happy that they kept with this cover, because it is, if you can see, it is really beautiful. Like, I love the simplicity of it. So this is Seiji is in his final year of university and trying to figure out what to do after graduation. As the pressure mounts, he just suggests to Kusakabe that they take a break from each other. So there's trauma in this one. And naturally takes this hold and throws himself into his music in an attempt to put their relationship behind him. When a family emergency brings Seiji back to town, can the two young men sort out their feelings and what they need from each other? So this is both volumes of Blank and the booklet 0 as well. This is in this. I really love the artwork from this creator. It's a very unique style, I think, with the way that they draw characters. I also want to pick up the GL as well, White Rose in Bloom, I think it's called, from this creator as well. But I also hope that Home, which is like just being released, which is like the next chapter after this, also gets licensed in English, which, you know, they've licensed Blank, so I'm sure that they'll license Home as well, so fingers crossed anyway. Sniffing my light switch. Like she's never seen it before. Okay, so next we have Cats and Sugar Balls. So this is a collection of sweet and provocative yuri romances. So it's a GL. Want a little spice with your sugar? Cats and Sugar Balls delivers with 9 bite-sized stories about love between women. Reina and Sunny are like a pair of naughty kitties who act far more innocent than they really are. Tuka, while looking for a lover willing to indulge her more extreme BDSM fantasies, runs into a boss at a bondage club. All these delights and more await. So it's quite thin to say that there's like nine stories. They are bite-sized. I have read this. To me, it seemed like that there was, like, from the synopsis and stuff, it seemed like that there was going to be more of a variety of, like, say, with, like, the BDSM and that sort of stuff, like kinks. The only real, like, kink or fetish that was in this was its blood play. There isn't that much variety to it, and I was kind of, like, a little bit disappointed from, like, the synopsis to what you actually get in here. But if you are looking for something that is short and sweet, then, you know, go for it. I don't think it's bad. I feel like I just wanted more from this. The artwork, though, if I can show you anything. The artwork, they are super cute. So, like, the characters, they are super cute. Well, nice draw, which is kind of typical of, like, GLs. I feel like all the GL characters are really cute. But yeah, so I was kind of a bit, like, lukewarm about this, to be honest. Maybe it's because it is, like, you know, short stories, so you don't get a lot of, like, character development, plot, and all that sort of stuff. It's, like, over fairly quickly. But yeah, like, it wasn't particularly bad, but it wasn't particularly great in my opinion. Next we have Chinese Fantasy, a collection of Chinese folk tales vividly adapted into manga, which it was the cover that got me. Like, I'm an absolute sucker for covers. So this is the beautiful retelling of Chinese folktales highlights the relationship between humans and non-humans, whether fantastical like the love story of the Dragon King's Daughter, or intense like the bond between hunter and beast. This stunning collection of 5 stories delves into traditional Chinese lore and myth. So I love things as well that are like based on lore, or like based on like tales that have been passed down for generations, that sort of thing. I'm yet to read this one, I'm afraid, guys. But yeah, I was pulled in by the whole like folklore thing. Like, the artwork does look nice, and yeah, it was the cover that suckered me in as well, because it's such a beautiful cover. So this is one that I am going to read like fairly soon. Like I say, there's just been so many new releases and so many things that I have picked up that I need more time to like actually just sit down and read. Next we have something that absolutely blew me away. So this is Tokyo Aliens. So this is the thrilling sci-fi fantasy series welcomes you to Japan, a top 10 destination for extraterrestrials looking for refuge, relaxation, a good time, or just to raise a little hell. Join one unsuspecting Tokyoite as he discovers that intergalactic tourist relations can prove to be a lot more dangerous than they seem. Shiny new high school first year, Kerry is an ordinary as they come. He's awkward, has terrible grades, and loves manga. In fact, the only thing that really sets him apart from his peers is his staunch determination to follow in his late father's footsteps as a police officer. But fate has its own plans for Akira after witnessing a ferocious battle unfold between 2 strangers with unusual powers on a train, one of whom looks a lot like the tall, dark and handsome kid in his grade. He finds himself kidnapped by none other than an alien. So this is an alien manga, and this volume absolutely blew me away. Like, I was already excited for the whole sci-fi aliens thing. I don't really have that many like alien things in my manga collection. So I was really excited for this. Again, I really like the cover. Like, I love this sort of like neon yellow green with the blue. And this volume, it sucked me in right from the get-go, and I was like engaged throughout the whole entire thing, and I was really excited. It was one of those where like you just have to keep turning the pages. Like, you need to know what happens. I love the characters in it. There's a lot of backstory to come forward about characters that are in this as well. Particularly the kid that they see on the train. So yes, I highly recommend this. I cannot wait for the next volumes. I've already pre-ordered it, so I'm just waiting on it. So yes, I cannot recommend this one enough. Like I say, it just sucked me in, and it's crazy like artwork as well. A lot of action in this, so yes, definitely pick this up. Okay, next we have Awaken, which I will say from the get-go, The one thing that annoys me about this volume is that it's a really odd size compared to everything, because I've got a few 7Cs like manga in my collection, and it's just like, obviously it's not like the short ones, like the standard size, and it's not like, it's bigger than the oversized volumes as well, like the large ones. So it kind of just sticks out in my collection, which is kind of annoying. But yes, I will say that. So this is Pyrrhus, the spoiled son of a military hero, dreams of becoming a knight for the Nova Empire until the day he literally crashes into a mysterious woman on the street, and his life is turned upside down. Rescued by a shadowy group from a monstrous creature, Pyrrhus is mesmerized by the strange new power that flows through him, only to learn that the Empire will hunt him down for it. It's the end of his charmed life and the start of the new quest for the truth behind the Nova Empire and the people it labels enemies. So I believe this is, well, it's a webtoon, and I believe it's on Tapas if you want to read it digitally from the official source. So it's on Tapas. Full colour. I don't know if you could see that. Which we love, obviously. I feel like the artwork as well, it's quite quirky. The artwork as well, I really like the style. I've yet to read this one, guys. It's kind of one of those where, like, I keep seeing it on my shelf and, like, I want to read it, but then I end up picking up something else. I don't know why, so I'm gonna have to, like, just sit down and read it. I'm not sure when volume 2 is supposed to be coming out. I don't think it's up for pre-order as of yet. But yeah, we love a full colour manhwa webtoon. Okay, we have The Summer You Were There. So this is a GL, which is super cute cover. I love covers like these. So this is Suzuki, is a shy high schooler who hardly talks to other people. Instead, she loses herself in writing, crafting a novel that she never intends to show anyone. But when her cute, popular classmate Kaori gets her hands on Shizuki's manuscript, everything changes. Kaori suggests that in order to give Shizuki material for her next book, the two of them should start dating. Can this mismatched pair create their own happily ever after? So it sounded like a really cute little story, which I am all for, some wholesome romance, shall we say. And like I say, the artwork looks super cute. So I'm excited to get into this one. I feel like I need to grow my GL collection because I don't have that much, and there's so much more coming out now, and such a variety of stuff that's coming out now that you know, if you are interested in the Yori genre, then it's definitely now's the time to be like looking, because there's so many new ones that are coming out as well that I'm excited for. So yes, I'm excited to give this one a go. Next excitement for Donmain fans, we have the first novel, The Husky and the White Cat Shozen. 7Cs have clicked on that there really is a high demand for Donmains to finally get translated into English officially and released. Obviously they saw that with MXTX's work with Heaven's Official's Blessing, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, and Scumvillain Self-Saving System. Like, I love MXTX's work. Heaven Official's Blessing, like, I've read the full thing, and that's one of the few things that actually like made me cry. Like, I don't cry at anything, like sad films, books, anything like do not make me cry, but Heaven Official's Blessing like really got me when I first read that. So 7Cs has clicked on that there is such a huge demand for domains that they have licensed more domains, and the next one after MXTX's work is The Husky and the White Cat Shozen. Now, if you've ever read any of MXTX's work, like, there is trauma in that, and you know, it really gets you in the feels. This one is not like MXTX's work. Like, this creator is a walking trigger warning. There's so many trigger warnings in things like this that it makes MXTX's work look really wholesome. So just keep that in mind when you're going for this. Like, if you have read the MXTX's work, that this is a different creator that has a lot of trigger warnings in it, and it's going to be an even tougher read to get through. So just bear that in mind. So called Tanzhun killed his way to the throne and now reigns as the first ever emperor of the mortal realm, yet somehow he is unsatisfied, left cold and bereft, abandoned by all he held dear. He takes his own life, only to be reborn anew. Awakening in the body of his younger self, Miran, a disciple of the cultivation sect Shisheng Peak, he discovers the chance to relive his life. This time he vows to attain the gratification that once eluded him. All who defied him will fall, and never again will they treat him like a dog. His greatest fury is reserved for Chu Ranin, the coldly beautiful and aloofly cat-like cultivated teacher who betrayed and thwarted Miran time and again in their last life. Yet as Miran shamelessly pursues his own goals in this life he thought lost, he begins to wonder if there might be more to this teacher and his own feelings than he ever realised. So that's the synopsis of this. We're also getting Remnants of Filth as well, which is set in the same universe as Earhart. So just go into this with caution if you are going to pick it up. I mean, I highly recommend it still, but yeah, just be cautious. With that as well, like Seven Seas, they are licensing Remnants of Filth. They license another one of Meat Bun's novels as well, which the name escapes me. We're also getting 1,000 Autumns, which I'm super excited about that's finally getting released in English as well. Stars of Chaos and The Guardian as well by Priest. So I'm excited that Seven Seas, this little monkey, so I'm super excited that Seven Seas are picking up these donmas and finally releasing them officially in English. So yeah, there's lots more to come out in next year as well, so I'm super excited about that. Next we have Colourless. This is volume 2, and I was so excited about this. And I pre-ordered volume 1, obviously when pre-orders was up, and it's still not here yet, which is really frustrating, and apparently I'm not going to get it until January, which is really annoying because I was super excited for this. So I haven't read this one yet. So a cosmic disaster stripped colour from the earth, leaving behind a mutated humanity that lives in a world of moody black and grey. Most of the technology and history of the old world is forgotten, but there is tantalising promise in the dangerous new field of chromodynamics. A rogue scientist named Avida is on the hunt for the world's last remaining scraps of colour, but he's not the only one. A mysterious cult has found a way to turn pigment into fearsome power, and they'll kill anyone who challenges their authority. Armed with his wits and peerless gun, it'll take everything Avida has to stay one step ahead. And as per the synopsis as well, so we have obviously everything in black and white, but there are these like pops of colour, which I absolutely love. This throughout here, that there is these little pops of colour. I think that's such a great touch to these. So yeah, when I finally get volume 1, then I can read them. So another GL that came out, Futari Escape. This was kind of like a last minute pre-order for me. Like I pre-ordered it a couple of weeks ago, and it's not long come out. So this is a professional manga creator and her slacker girlfriend try to relieve the pressures of adulthood by finding joy in the little things in life and each other. Two young women, one an overweight manga artist, the other a jobless slacker, try to escape the realities of adulthood, whether it's by going into debt while splurging on an epic meal, or taking an impromptu trip. Kuhai and Senpai find a way to make the most of their days, kick back and relax with this adorable Yuri comedy. Like, doesn't that just sound super cute and wholesome and an easy read? Like I say, I've not long got this, so I haven't read it yet, but it just sounded like a nice easy read, something that you can really relax to. Like, you don't have to think too hard about it, and it's not going to be like really intense, and sometimes you just need that. And then we have volume 5-6, so this is the third omnibus of Tokyo Revengers. Like I said in one of my previous videos when I got, I think it was the first volume, I'm not entirely sure why I've got this. It was kind of like a spontaneous pre-order, and I pre-ordered like as many as I could. I don't know why. I think it was probably that FOMO sort of thing and all the hype that was going around about it. So Tokyo Revengers, the Takamichi is convinced he's fixed the timeline by saving Draken. It turns out that Hinata's death in the future was only postponed, and this time he had to watch. His only recourse is to climb the ranks of Toman, and Mikey gives him an ultimatum: bring Mikey's best friend Balaji back from his new gang, Valhalla, the Headless Angel. But the scheme between Balaji and Toman is deeper than Takamachi's could ever have known. Is Mikey's order even possible? Honestly, I haven't read these. But there is such a hype, there's such a big fandom about it that I will get around to it. I think what I'm probably going to do is, because the volumes are going to be coming out fairly quickly, is I'm probably just going to wait until like all of them come out and then like binge through it, see how I feel. I'm one of those people where if I start collecting something, like I have to get the full set. I can't just drop it and just have like an unfinished set, and I find it hard to let things go as well, so like selling things on. So I will binge through it and read it regardless, like I say, probably when everything else comes out as well. So that is 7C stuff. So we're going to move on now to Steamship, which is an imprint of 7Cs. So Steamship, has 4 titles out so far. There's also the Demon Knight and the Villainess and the Demon Knight. That's it. Oh God. Which is going to be coming out next year. Now I will say that I have really enjoyed all of these titles that Steamship has been putting out. So it is like Jose for mature readers. So just FYI that these are all like have explicit content in them. So the first one that we have is Loaded on Top. So this is the latest title release from Steamship. So this is a sexy Jose romance manga about a quiet woman and a perfect man shedding gender stereotypes and embracing their sensual selves. Mizuki looks like an ordinary office lady, cute, quiet, and looking for Mr. Right. But while she yearns for love, traditional romances where men take the lead just leave her cold. Then at the age of 24, Mizuki discovers Shinomiya, a seemingly perfect co-worker who likes aggressive women, and she experiences a fiery awakening. Together, they learn that reversing traditional roles, gender roles, can be both liberating and exciting. So I really liked this, and just to give you a bit of an idea, like this volume includes pegging talk. So it is, I love the fact that it is a non-traditional, well, seen as like a non-traditional romance between these two. And I am so excited for more like this. It is quite funny in places, like the reactions. And I really enjoyed this. I'm really looking forward to the next volume coming out. Like I say, it's definitely worth it, and it's something different as well from like the Jose demographic. So yes, I highly recommend this if you are looking for like Jose manga and you want something that is a little bit different, then definitely go ahead and pick this up. Next we have volume 2 of Outbride, Beauty and the Beasts. So this is where Mashiro awakens in a distant and confusing future. She's faced with a new reality where humans no longer exist. While she grieves her lost family, friends and old life, she's also faced with 4 pushy and impatient non-human suitors. Despite her hardships, Mashiro still wishes to live, but as this new world isn't conducive to human life, she's going to have to rely on her intimidating male caretakers, because without saliva or other fluids contributed by her celestial paramours, her life on this earth will be cut short. So yeah, she needs some form of fluid from these 4 sutures that have basically brought her back to life in this world. I do really like this series. It's like one of my favorites from the titles that are out at the minute. Because it isn't just about that fact of that she needs these fluids from these people. There is like a whole world building in this as well, and there's a whole bigger story than just that that's happening in this as well. So it isn't just focusing like on the explicit side of the story. There's so much more to it than that as well, and each of the 4 suitors as well like are very, very different characters, and in each one so far, in each book so far, we've got a bit of backstory on those 4 suitors. So I'm excited to see volumes 3 and 4 to see the other 2 suitors and how they interact with Mashiro. So yes, I do recommend this. Like I say, I like all of the steamship licenses so far, so I've really enjoyed this one as well, and the artwork is really pretty in this as well, like in this character as well. It's so beautiful. But yeah, so definitely if Jersey is something that you're looking for, or that's your demographic, then definitely go ahead and pick it up. Next we have I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess. So this is volume 2. So to escape her engagement to the Crown Prince, Lady decides she has no choice but to lose her virginity, and fast. But in her haste, she makes a terrible mistake. It turns out that the man she slept with at the masquerade ball is none other than the prince himself. Not only that, but he's left his mark on her literally, and it's impossible to erase. Just how will Lady get out of this mess? So this is the next installment of that story after the whole masquerade ball, and obviously finding out who the masked man was that took her virginity. So Lydia's kind of accepted her fate with this, and we get to see a bit more of this Crown Prince and his personality, and I have to say it's a bit of a red flag, but we'll see as the story develops. I've still enjoyed this. I think it's great still, so I still recommend this. Okay, next moving on to, I want to call it Easy Press. Ize Press, I-Z-E Press. So this is an imprint of Yen Press, which is specifically catered for manhwas and Korean content, which I think is amazing. I hope that as they license more stuff that they're gonna do some of the BLs, because we have things like Under the Green Light, which people are absolutely desperate for to be translated, and there's so many great webtoons as well that just people are dying, including me, to get released in English. So the first one we have is The World After the Fall. So this is the first volume that's come out. So this is a tower one day appears in the sky, standing out as a beacon of chaos and apocalypse. A heroic and powerful lot known as Walkers cleared the tower floors in order to save humanity. Until the day that the stone of regression was discovered, Walkers could now return to the past, and slowly everyone left. The brave few who remained formed Corp Diem, a group of people who refused to abandon the world and represented humanity's last hope. But once the last Walker reached floor 100, he no longer knew what to believe. I will say, because obviously there's a lot of stories that like Solo Level and inspired, so there are a lot of this like video game type stories that have come out. So this is kind of in that same vein. I will say that this started off a little slow for me, and it wasn't towards like the end where I thought it really did get interesting, like when he did reach level 100. So I'm intrigued to see where it goes after this volume, and in the introduction of new characters as well, like how they play a role in the story as it goes on. I kind of feel like maybe what like made me a bit like about this was that things do move really quickly, like time skip sort of things, like years and stuff move by quickly. So I felt like that there was kind of just getting through, like the story is a bit rushed, getting through like the first bit of his story. But again, full colour, we love a full colour. I like the artwork as well in this. Obviously lots of action, And like I say, the volume definitely picked up for me like as it went on and as it got towards the end. So I still recommend this if you like that sort of action monster fighting with the video game elements into it, then definitely pick this up. In that same sort of vein, we have Tomb Raider King. Okay, so this is the first volume. So this is in the year 2025, so not far away. Mysterious tombs appeared all over the world, each housing an ancient relic granting supernatural abilities. The lucky few who quickly obtained these relics ruled over powerful monopolies. Others came to serve them, such as Johann Su, a raider who hid in tombs to steal relics. Betrayed by his employer, Johann is left to die, but instead finds himself transported 15 years into the past. And with years of tough raiding experience and knowledge of what is to come in the world of relics, does Johann have what it takes to become the Tomb Raider King? Now, I really enjoyed this volume because Johann is kind of got this like almost like a villain, like a bad guy type of vibe to him, and I quite like that. It seemed like a bit of a twist on it. So I'm excited to see the next volumes, what happens next, if he can become the Tomb Raider King. Again, I believe these are on tapas if you wanted to read them digitally rather than waiting for the physicals. But yeah, I really enjoyed this volume, so I'm excited for more. I thought it was a twist on that. He doesn't seem like, you know, the 100% good guy. So we'll see where this story goes to. And then one that I just got, that's just released, is The Remarried Empress, which is a gorgeous cover. I love this gold on here as well. I think what I'm probably going to do eventually is pick up all the titles from, I still want to call it Easy Press. I'm going to pick up all the titles from them because they do have a few out at the minute. And I do enjoy a good manhwa as well. You know, Korean content really is fun to read. So I think what I'm going to do is I will pick up all the titles that they have. So this is Empress Navia and Emperor Servishu. A match made in heaven, they were the two pillars of the land, whom everyone believed would stand by each other through thick and thin, until a chance encounter with a beautiful girl in the forest leaves the emperor smitten. Though hurt by the betrayal, Neva is not one to waste time wallowing in despair, and when Servisho requests a divorce, she has but one condition in return: permission to remarry the man of her choosing. Plot twist. I've literally just got this, I haven't read it. But again, the artwork looks really cute in this. Again, full colour. So I'm excited to get into this. I've heard a lot of good things and people were super excited to get this licensed as well, so I'm excited to go ahead and dive into it. And then next we're going to go ahead and jump into Kuma, which I love. Kuma, like their presentation of their manga is exceptional. Like the quality is probably my favorite out of like all the publishers. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I'm super excited about this, the Song of Yoru and Asa Encore. Harada, which is the creator of Yoru and Asa, all of her work has major trigger warnings like throughout the whole thing. Like she does not care like what she puts in. She will put in the worst of the worst. Like she will literally put in the most trigger warning. Just trying to get into my drawers, can't see her. Yeah, and the most heart-wrenching like stuff that you can think of. Like Harada does not care. But this volume of Yoru and Asa is after a very rocky start, Asashi and Yoru begin their passion-filled dating life. Although the band's popularity has remained steady, Asashi was no longer content with being a small-time band. He wants fame, he wants success, and so he begins to dream of the band's future. Trouble arises when Yoru reveals that he has some fans stalking him. Asashi offers Yoru a spare key to his place, and they begin officially living together. How will their relationship fare? Where will their band go? As they worry, struggle, and fall in love, what does the future hold as their group's plans begin to grow? I do really enjoy Harada's work, but like I say, it's not for the faint of heart, and I don't recommend these to everyone. I enjoyed the first one. There was a lot of trigger warnings in that, and their relationship, it is a red flag and it is quite toxic. But yeah, in this volume you do start to see especially Asashi's love for Yoru. Like you do get glimpses of them, like actual like sweet moments, despite he is a red flag. But I'm so happy that they're happy together as well. Like their relationship just works for them. It is very explicit. Like Harada does not censor her work, and I'm grateful that like Kuma keeps true to the artist's work as well, that they don't censor it either, that they print as the artist intended it. I appreciate when publishers do that, like no matter what like it is. So yes, I loved this volume. I really hope that one day Harada does another volume of these, because I would like to see more of these two characters, but honestly I don't think she will. I think she's just concentrating on Happy Crappy Life, which we are also getting in license as well next year. But yeah, I love her artwork. Like it's a really nice style. Like her artwork is gorgeous. Like I love her style so much, like the way that she draws her characters and stuff. But yeah, so I don't recommend this for everyone unless you are familiar with Harada's work, or you don't mind trigger warnings in your manga. Next we have Canis de Hata Volume 2, which these are some of my favourite covers from Kuma that Kuma has released. Like the colours, the artwork is just gorgeous. So this is Kazuna and his crew showcase at New York Fashion Week was a huge success. While there, Ryu encounters an old friend of his, Chase, who informs him that the mob boss he thought was dead is still alive. Hoping to face his past, Ryu decides to stay behind in America, meaning Kazuna would now be on the other side of the planet. On the outside, Kazuna seems perfectly calm on his own in Tokyo, but beneath the surface, ... So we also had as well the re-release of Canis Dear Mr. Rain. Dear Mr. Rain, which is slightly, which feels slightly different. Like you still get the dust covers and everything, which I appreciate from Kuma. So this is like just, there's some extra story I believe in this, and they just did like a bit of a refresh. I do have the other one, the original. So this is the original one that they came out, which I think this cover is also like really beautiful, the artwork. I love the artwork in these as well. Because it is only 3 volumes, so this is like the prequel, and then De Hata Volume 1 and 2 is the follow-up. Because I know it was only 3 volumes, I haven't read them yet, even though I've had them with things that are like only a couple of volumes. I prefer to kind of wait, catch up on other things, and then like binge through them. So I'm excited to go through this now that I have all 3 volumes and give it a read, because I've heard really good things about it. And then a very recent release, we have the Pet Detective Agency as well. This cover is also really nice, and I love the matte finish. Like I'm a sucker for a matte finish. So this is at the Seiko Detective Agency works a reliable Ryu. Despite his rugged looks, intimidating glares and pink hair, animals seem to adore him, making him the perfect candidate for finding lost pets. Ryu is also in love with his boss, Detective Fumika Seiko. When he isn't helping Fumika out on a case, Ryu is always on the lookout for a chance to sneak a kiss. This is just one shot. It was really cute, fun little stories, little obviously them doing their job, finding lost pets, that sort of thing. Yeah, this was super cute. One of the more tame titles that Kuma has released that I would recommend to anyone. that is interested in BL. The artwork as well is super cute as well. If you can see that, I really like the artwork, and I love these two characters and the dynamics. They are kind of chalk and cheese, but yeah, I really enjoyed this one, so I recommend it. Next we have another GL. This is by Dempa, but I've included it in Kuma because Kuma is an imprint of Dempa. So this is Vampires. So this is Ichika is in love with Aria, a vampire, and now Aria has decided to transfer to Ichika's school. Her whole life is Aria. At home there's Aria, at school there's Aria, in her dreams Aria is there feasting on her and later kissing her. So this is volume 2 that's just been released. I love the way that Dempa presents their manga. Like, we have the French flaps, but it's very sturdy, and this is slightly different than the first volume. So the first volume is matte, more of a matte textured feel, and this is obviously the glossy. The artwork in this looks cute. I haven't read these two just yet. Volume 3 is going to be coming out as well, but like I say, I'm a sucker for anything vampires, so I decided to go ahead and try this out because I have heard good things about it as well. So moving on, next we're going to go to Sublime. So I only have one release from Sublime. I wish they would license more stuff because I do like the titles that they do license. So we have Love Nest. This is volume 2. This is a conclusion to Love Nest. There's only 2 volumes, so volume 1 and then yeah, volume 2 has just come out. So this is a broken-hearted Masato moves into his friend's second home looking for some peace and quiet, but instead he finds a man who's very much not his type already occupying the space. Can this messy, ill-tempered intruder help mend his broken heart? Masato has unexpectedly fallen for his gruff, rather untidy older roommate Asashi, and after confessing his feelings he's left waiting for an answer, just as it seems his look in love may have changed. Masato's own unsavory behaviour from a romance past comes back to bite him, and an unexpected visitor arrives on his doorstep. So this is a spin-off from Sayonara Game and Change World. Now, Sayonara Game and Change World, like, for me, was okay. It kind of fell a little bit short for me. However, in this one, from the creator, they've really taken their stories to the next level, and their character development, the background stories, the development between 2 characters, and including someone that is basically the instigator of the troublemaker. I feel like the creator really took their storytelling to the next level, and this quickly became one of my favourite titles from Sublime. So I kind of recommend this enough. I really hope there is Love Nest 2. So I'm hoping that Sublime also licenses that, because I would like to see the life after these 2 volumes. So I'm praying that gets released as well. These are pretty chunky volumes, so there's quite a decent amount of story to say that there is only 2 volumes. Like I say, I highly recommend this over Sayonara Game and Change World. Like, you don't have to read those, like, just because they came out beforehand. This is a completely separate story. It is obviously just set in the same universe. There is like a little explanation in the beginning of the volumes, just to say like who the other characters are from the previous story. But yes, I highly recommend this more than those 2 anyway, so definitely check this out if you like Sublime's titles. If you're looking for something with a bit of angst but a really good story, then I definitely recommend this. So that's all that I got from Sublime. Next we are moving on to Yen Press. So we have The Gay Who Turned Kaiju. This was kind of a last minute pre-order as well. Like, I do have a goal in my collection where I do want to collect every BL that's been published in English. That is one of my goals for my collection. So obviously I've included this in there as well. So yeah, that's why I have like a lot of BL as well, like in hauls, and that's kind of like my main focus. But yeah, so the gay who turned kaiju. So this is bullied for being gay. Teenager Takahashi Arashiro wishes he could just be somebody else. But who could predict he'd morph into a giant-headed sci-fi creature? Takashi's tumultuous emotions become the catalyst for a personal and social exploration of the LGBTQ experience in this quirky, profound manga from prolific BL author Kazuki Minamoto. It just sounded interesting to me, like someone morphing into a kaiju. So I had to pick this up. So I'm intrigued. I've not long got this. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. It's quite a chunky volume. It is just a one shot as well. So I thought it sounded super interesting. So I'm excited to get into this one. And then guys, we finally have Hirada and Kagura. So if you like Sasuke and Mina, which is one of my absolute all-time favorite ongoing mangas, like in any genre, like is one of my favorite ongoing series. Like it is so cute, like you will get cavities from reading it. It's so sweet. So this is a spin-off series about a character, Hirano, who is in Sasuke and Mina. Like when the author wrote Sasuke and Mina and included Hirano and sort of his little interactions with Kagero, people will say like, we need a story of these two. So the author wrote it, and it's finally here in English. It is a novel, which we are also getting licensed in English, which will be out next year. I'm so excited that it's finally here, and of course I read it as soon as it hit my doormat. So this is basketball players, bad boys who aren't really bad boys, roommates, senpai kuhai, BL romance. It all started with Kagura moved into the school dorms with what seemed to be a bad boy upperclassman, but after he's left in the tender care of his mother hen of a roommate, Haruna, it's too much to ask for Kagura not to fall in love, right? This is just as cute as Sasuke and Mina, which I knew it would be. And I'm so excited that it's got an English license as well. Next volume comes out early next year. I love the artwork of this creator. We do get to see a bit of Sasuke as well in this volume, which Sasuke is an absolute sweetheart. So yeah, if you want wholesome, sweet, like non-toxic, everyone's supportive of each other, it's just about like coming to terms with feelings and all that sort of stuff, then check out this, check out Sasuke and Mina. Like I will always say, like there's nothing bad to say about this. So I'm super happy to finally have a physical of this story, and I can't wait for more volumes. And just on that note as well, with like Sasuke and Mina, we finally have a little android of Mina. Oh my god, he's so cute. So this comes with like 3 faces in total, and then 3 accessories as well. Look how adorable he is. So Sasuke will be out later this year as well, which I cannot wait to get him. I said that because I do have merch in my collection as well, but I said like Nendroids I'm not interested in collecting. But as soon as they announced Sasuke and Mina, I was like, fine, okay, these will be the only ones in my collection. And he's just so adorable. I'm so happy to have him in my collection, and I can't wait for Sasuke to get here as well. Anyway, enough of that. We're going to go on to Kodansha. We have One Dance Volumes 2 and then 3 also quickly came out as well, which I was kind of surprised about. It was not a lot of distance between, not a lot of time between the two. So Kabuko has always just gone with the flow, marching in step to the drumbeat of the expectations of those around him, parents, school, plans for the future. It feels predictable, safe and empty. But one night, Kabuko's at school late and he happens on a girl alone, moving wildly, turning a blank space of concrete into a canvas. This is Hikaru Wanda, a member of the hip-hop dance club. Kabuko is immediately smitten, but the road to stepping out of his shell is a long one. The club is almost entirely girls, and they're all, well, way better than him. What's ahead is unknown, and that's terrifying, but it also means for the first time in Kabuko's life, a taste of freedom. I feel I've spoken about this before when I got the first volume. Kabuko's, I feel like he is going to be relatable to a lot of people. Like, he has this stutter which that also sort of like sets him back from being able to talk with people, like, because he feels like, oh, the moment's going to pass before I can like get what I want to say out and stuff, so he doesn't say anything at all. This is also one of my favorite like ongoing mangas, so there's obviously a lot of like hip-hop dancing in it, but the characters are really interesting. The development of Kabuko and Wanda and their relationship and their interactions is really interesting as well, and like there is a lot of like emotional expression through like dance, and I love like an artistic storyline like about creatives, like no matter whether that's like, you know, through dance or through singing or, you know, some sort of arts. Like, I am a sucker for that sort of thing. And this, like, I cannot recommend enough. There's, I believe in country of origin in Japan, there's 9 volumes. There's quite a few volumes anyway, so it is ongoing as well. So we've still got a lot more to come out, which I am so excited for. So I highly recommend this. Like, I love this so much. And then we have Island in a Puddle, Volume 4. Again, matte cover, I love. So this is an innocent young boy who's plunged into Tokyo's criminal underworld as he fights to keep his younger sister alive and to return his soul to his own body. The tiny apartment where Minato lives may as well be an isolated island in the middle of the ocean. Despite still being in elementary school, it falls on his shoulders to care for his little sister Nagisa, who never stops asking when their mother will return one of her infrequent visits home. On one of those visits, their mother takes them to an amusement park only to give Minato some cash and leave them on a Ferris wheel. But as the wheel reaches the top, lightning strikes, and instead of his sister, Minato sees the corpse of a woman, and reflected in the glass looking back at him, an unfamiliar and menacing face. This, I have loved every single volume of this. This has been a real page turner. It's really sad the relationship the mother has, of non-existent relationship really, that the mother has with her kids, and I don't know how anyone can like treat the kids like that and just like leave them for like literally weeks and weeks like on their own. But yeah, volume 4, you can really tell that the story is coming to a climax, and it is coming to an end. Like I say, it's a real page turner. We've only got 1 volume left, which is kind of makes me sad, but I'm excited to see this wrap up as well. So yeah, I have really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to see how the series concludes. Okay, moving on to Viz Media. Okay, so we have Kaiju number 8, volume 4 was released. So with the highest kaiju emergence rates in the world, Japan is no longer no stranger to attacked by deadly monsters. Enter the Japan Defense Force, a military organization tasked with the neutralization of kaiju. Kafka, a kaiju corpse cleanup man, has always dreamed of joining the force, but when he gets another shot at achieving his childhood dream, he undergoes an unexpected transformation. How can he fight kaiju now that he's become one himself? Da da da. So in this volume, the raid on the Defense Force's Tashikawa base continues as the officers expend their efforts to fend off the Yoju. Meanwhile, Hoshina unleashes his full combat power to take on the Daikaiju, the mightiest kaiju of the group. Just when the battle seems to be over, the Daikaiju transforms, and Kafka's detection ability reacts to it. Can Kafka find a way to save the day without revealing his secret? So this is great that we see a lot more of Hoshina in this volume. Like, obviously he's on the cover as well. Action packed, great comedy and humor in this as well throughout the story. Like I say, lots of action, great character backgrounds, character building, world building. I'm excited to see where this story goes as well. Like, this is one of my favourite Viz Media releases that's been licensed, and I cannot say enough good things about it. I absolutely love this series. Like, they can't release it fast enough for me. I know you can really read it on the Shonen Jump app, but I'm being patient and waiting for the physicals on this. But yes, I love the artwork as well. Like, yeah, I love the artwork in this, and the pace of it as well is really like a really good pacing. So yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. Like, it hooked me in the first couple of chapters when I read the first volume, and I've been hooked ever since. So excited for the next few volumes to come out as well, and it is still ongoing. I think there's 7 volumes out in Japan. Don't quote me on that, but we've still got a lot of content to come. Like, I believe Shonen Jump is around like 79 chapters or something, so we've still got a lot of content to come out, which I am more than happy with. Next we have volume 32 of My Hero Academia. This will forever have a spot in my heart. Like, I have a real soft spot for this. So volume 32, with society wavering on the verge of collapse in the wake of the recent chaos, Midoriya has left his school and friends behind in order to save whatever lives he can out on the streets and lure All For One into the open. But the mastermind villain has his own plans and sends villains for hire after Midoriya, including one familiar face. Chief among these hired guns is Lady Nagant, a fallen former hero who delivers plenty of bang for her buck. I have been keeping up on Shonen Jump of this. I'm like up to date, and let me just tell you, there's so much like there's gonna be a lot of hurt coming in this. So and I'm excited that obviously season 6, the anime, is being released as well. But yeah, I have a real soft spot for My Hero Academia anyway. I love the story, lots of action, and it really does at times make you think, oh my god, like how are these even gonna, how are the heroes gonna overcome the villains? Like, it just seems impossible at times. So it really does keep you engaged, and yeah, I love this. Like I say, prepare yourself, people. Yeah, just prepare yourself, because it only gets even more wild as it goes on. And then I also picked up Bleach 20th Anniversary Volume 1. I love the presentation of this, like the artwork. This is one of like my favourite covers as well. Like, just the feel of it. It's got this like soft like velvet touch matte with like the glossy bits of the writing in the actual image. Red is my favourite colour, so that's also a bonus for me. But I love the presentation of this, so I had to pick it up as well because it is limited edition. So there's not going to be reprints of it, so if you see it and you are a Bleach fan, then definitely go ahead and pick it up. So Ichigo never asked for the ability to see ghosts. He was born with the gift. When his family is attacked by a hollow, malevolent, lost soul, Ichigo becomes a soul reaper, dedicating his life to protecting his innocent and helping the tortured spirits themselves find peace. So yes, it is one of the big 3, obviously very popular. But yeah, definitely if you are a Bleach fan, this is worth picking up just for the pure presentation of this. It's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm happy to have this in my collection. Moving on to June. So I've been anticipating this one, so I'm so happy that I finally have it. This is Ormika by Sekiro. So I've already got the digital chapters of this for when it like came out. But yeah, June finally got around to actually licensing it, and Sekiro did a bit of work as well, because there's some things that she weren't happy about when she first did this. So there are some slight changes. It is a beefy volume. So, need an exorcist? Could the random assaults happening around town be the work of a demon? On a dark rainy night after finishing his part-time job as a bartender, college student Kyo Izakura is attacked by a demon who's disguised himself as an older gentleman. Before being completely devoured, cool but pushy exorcist Shin Gudo intervenes and discovers that Kyo has the power to absorb spirits into his body. However, in order to release the spirit from his body, Kyo must consume semen, and Shin offers to help. Follow Kyo and Shin as their relationship deepens while they work together to stay alive in this all-new supernatural erotic drama by Sakura. So, like with all of Sakura's work, if you are looking for character development, detailed plot lines, that sort of thing, you're not going to find it with Sakura. She does amazing artwork of pretty guys doing fun things. Like, that is what she is great at. However, Orumiko is the most thought out, like, plot driven story that she's released so far. So there is more to this story and more to these characters than like her previous works. I feel like it is uncensored, it is very explicit, as you get with all of Sakura's work, so just FYI, mature readers only, but I love this. This is great. It's all of Sakura's work is a fun read, and this is no exception. Next we have volume 2 of Early the Flower News. So this is Why Can't I Stop Thinking About Him? Misaka and Arikawa are two men who are undeniably attracted to each other, and when Misaka finds himself unable to control his pent-up feelings any longer, he abruptly heads over to Arikawa's apartment, where he's faced with an equally restless Arikawa. Just what will become of these two wavering feelings. So this is the same author as 10 Count as well, but this is like non-explicit so far, so yeah, it's 16 plus. This is only 3 volumes, it's just short, it's a short series, so I am just waiting for the 3rd volume, which comes out next year, before I read this. But yeah, I feel like I'm going to enjoy this anyway. I do enjoy this author's work. Yeah, she does really good stories, so I'm excited to read this when the 3rd volume comes out and I can just binge through it all. Okay, we have 1 volume from Tokyo Pop. This is Loved Circus, a little bit early release. Tokyo Pop, if you are looking for BL, Tokyo Pop does not miss with their licenses, and they are really great at putting the age ratings and trigger warnings on the back as well, which I really appreciate, because yeah, not every publisher does that, and I think that they should, to help people navigate through their manga and what they're looking for and what they can avoid, because sometimes when you're not expecting certain stuff in while you're reading and then it pops up, it is a bit shocking. But at least with Tokyo Pop, you know what to expect as well. So there's lots of trigger warnings in this, just FYI. So this is ordinary salesman K has ended up at rock bottom after falling in love with a call girl and spending his life savings trying to pay off her debts. Now living out of his car while hiding from loan sharks, he contemplates ending it all. But when he comes to, Key finds himself saved by the Men of Circus, a brothel that caters only to male clientele. Despite his despair, he clings to the lifeline they offer him, and it becomes more than just an opportunity to pay off his debts, but a strange and unexpected respite. Living and working alongside the other men, each trying to survive in their own way, Key faces his new chance at life head on, learning both the sweetness and ugliness of desire and love for a night and for a lifetime. So it sounds interesting. I've literally just got this, so I haven't read it yet. But it does sound really interesting. I've had it on pre-order for like the longest time, so I'm excited it's finally here. I love the presentation as well, like the black and the yellow together. Okay, and then next from Lezen, we have the conclusion and the final volumes of BJ Alex. So we have volumes 7, 8 and 9, which is the side stories, and MD and Tamu's stories as well. I'm excited to finally have the conclusion of this. So this is every night at 10 p.m. Dongwon locks himself up in his room, grabs a box of tissues, and watches a live Camboy show hosted by Alex, a BJ broadcast jockey. Timid Dongjuan admires not only Alex's ripped body, but his candor in sharing his sexual experiences with viewers. One night, Dongjuan downs too many drinks at the school networking event and passes out when he wakes up in his bed staring up at a shirtless hunk, who looks an awful lot like Alex. So that is this. It's toxic. Alex is this guy. He is a red flag, and they definitely get off to a rocky start. This was one of the first BLs that I read, like webtoon and Korean stories that I read online. So I've already read the full thing, and I was excited that we finally get the physicals for it. I hope that Lezen gets more of their English releases printed in physicals, because there's so many on there that and they're amazing stories that I would just love to have a physical in my collection. But yeah, like I say, trigger warnings, toxic behaviour and stuff, but hey, if you're into that, definitely pick it up. I got these from Haramio, which their prices do include shipping, and it's super quick shipping. Like, I highly recommend buying anything from there, because literally these arrived in like 5 days, so really quick shipping. And then this hit my doorstep literally yesterday, The Witcher Ronin. Like, how gorgeous is this cover? So gorgeous. It's really thin. This is from Dark Horse. Yeah, Dark Horse. So set in an ancient Japanese inspired world, Geralt trails the mythical Lady of Snow. Here the role of a witch is just as essential, as dangerous spirits and demons are constantly on the prowl. In a new world inspired by Edo period Japan, Geralt is faced with difficult moral choices while battling a variety of yokai and oni, creatures inspired by Japanese myths. Each encounter drops a clue in his desperate search for a mysterious apparition known as the Lady of Snow, Yuki Onna, for she is the key to who Geralt seeks, but finding her won't be easy. I wish I had known about the crowdfunding, because that set and that presentation looked absolutely gorgeous, like it was a hardback as well. So I'm kind of disappointed that I missed out on this, but I'm excited to have this in the collection because I am a fan of The Witcher. Like, The Witcher 3 is The Wild Hunt is like one of my favourite games as well. But yeah, so I'm excited to have this. The cover, like I say, is absolutely gorgeous. It is a different artist, the cover artist, than the artist on who's actually done this. So it is kind of quirky, the artwork. I would love to see like manga from this artist as well, because it's just a gorgeous cover. It's quite thin, just FYI, but the pages are obviously like really big, like this is the Tokyo Pop, so yeah, it's quite a large print. But yeah, so I'm excited to have this in the collection. Okay, so those are new releases that have come out. We've finally got through it. If you're still here, thank you for staying with me. So now we're going to move on to already released stuff that I've just picked up, and I'm just going to kind of run through them because I know this video is going to be really long anyway. So I picked up quite a few things from Sublime. So we have Don't Be Cruel +2. So this is side stories from Nemo and Maya. I love this. This is one of my favourite ongoing BLs of this relationship. It does start off toxic, but they are really sweet together and I love them. There's a story in here about tighty whities that had me howling. It's so funny. But yeah, I love these two. Next, I picked up Volume 1, finally got a reprint of Crimson Spell, and then I also picked up Volume 4, Volume 5, and Volume 6 of Crimson Spell, same creator as Finder, so I'm excited for this, to get stuck into this when eventually Volume 2 and 3 get reprint, which is, fingers crossed, going to be soon. From Hinaka Takanaga, who's one of my favourite, like, creators. We have Awkward Silence Volume 4 and 5. Hopefully Volumes 1, 2 and 3 get a reprint really soon. I believe it's going to be early next year. And then I just need to pick up volume 6 as well. So this is same creator as Tyrant Falls in Love, among a bunch of other things, but I love her artwork as well. So I'm excited to get into this when finally get the first volumes. And then finally, A Strange and Mystifying Story Volume 1 got a reprint, so I have of course picked that up as well. So that is Sublime stuff. Next, moving on to Vertical, I picked up volume 8, 9 and 11 of What Did You Eat Yesterday. This is one of my favourite ongoing series. There's quite a few. There's volume 19 comes out in December. I'm disappointed that they didn't have volume 10 when I went to pick up the next lot, so I'm gonna have to order that. But this is just really relaxing read. It is story come cookbook. It is heavily based on, like, obviously it is obviously heavily based on food, and the interactions between Sarah and Kenji, and discussing their day over a meal, prepping meals together and stuff like that. I love the pacing of this. It's really relaxing to read. So I'm eager to pick up the rest of the volumes as well. It is still ongoing, like we're going to get volumes 20, 21 next year, possibly even more. But yeah, it's still ongoing, which is wild. I think this is the longest BL in English that's printed anyway. I can't say anything bad about it. I really enjoy it. Some people probably won't like it because it is heavily food based, but yeah, the little interactions between Sarah and Kenji I really like, and it is mature, older gentlemen in this as well, which I don't think we see enough of. So yeah, I love this. I love Fumi Yoshinaga. She is a great creator and I love her work. So she's one of the creators that I will collect all of her work that she releases in English. And she has a really unique, quirky art style as well. You can really tell that it's her work. Okay, next we have I Hear the Sunspots. So I picked up A Theory of Happiness, Limit 1 and Limit 3. So I'm just missing Limit 2 and the first I Hear the Sunspots before I can begin reading this. So this is this has a character who's hard of hearing. He's got a hearing disability, which I think is great that, there's some representation of that in manga as well. And I've heard only good things about it, and I've been meaning to pick it up for ages. So I saw the 3 of these in Forbidden Planet, who always do a 3 for 2 on manga, so I was like, right, I'm going to pick these up, and then I only need to order 2 more. There's also another installment of I Hear the Sunspots coming out next April, I think, which is called 4 Seasons. So I'm excited to pick up the 2 missing volumes and get through this before 4 Seasons come out, because like I said, I've heard that it's wholesome, sweet, and really good read. And then I picked up volumes 2 and 3 of Go With The Clouds, North by Northwest. This is one of my absolute favourite series of covers, especially the way that these are presented is phenomenal to me. I love these so much. They're a textured matte and the covers are just gorgeous. Look at that, the colours and everything. I love them so much. And even the back with the flowers on and the animals on. So I will read the synopsis of this one because there's nothing on the back if you see it, and when I first picked up the first volume I had no idea what it was about. It was just the cover. I was like, oh, the cover's gorgeous. So Key is a 17-year-old with 3 secrets. He can talk to cars, he can't handle pretty girls, and he works as a private investigator. One case has him searching for a beloved dog, another involves reuniting a woman with the man she fell for at first sight. And then comes a case that strikes close to home, searching for his own little brother. Tag along as this globe-spanning journey unfolds. So his little brother was still living in Japan, while he and his grandpa actually live in Iceland. So it's based in Iceland, and the artwork in this volume 2 is kind of like, I feel is a bit more like a side story, because like one of Key's friends goes to visit, so they do a lot of sightseeing and that sort of stuff, rather than like the detective work. But like the artwork and the scenery in this is just absolutely phenomenal. Like, it's so gorgeous to read, and it's such a pleasant story to read so far. I'm on volume 3, so I've just got this one to read. Volume 4 is out and volume 5 comes out in December, but it's really great with this whole like there is a big mystery and there is a bigger plot line to this than what like first meets the eye. But I feel like volume 2, because I've just read that, there is a bit of a respite between like all this like mystery that's going off and all this action that's going on. So you kind of get like a bit of a respite, and the author really goes in to explore Iceland and see sights and like more of the culture and stuff. And yeah, I love this series so much, and like not enough people talk about it, and more people need to go and pick it up. In the UK, for some reason, the only place that I've been able to actually find this for order is off Amazon. I don't really like ordering off Amazon, but yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. Like I say, the covers alone should sell you. I love the covers so much. And then lastly from Viz, I picked up Beastars. So I follow the Omnibus collector Riley, and he speaks very highly of Beastars. While I was in the store, I saw this and I was like, do you know what, I'm going to actually pick this up, because it is coming to its conclusion very soon. I think volume 22 is the last, I think it's the last volume, but it wraps up very soon, like in the next couple of months anyway. So I thought it was a good time to sort of like pick it up, and then I can like binge through it. So yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. Okay, last stack guys, we are almost there. I'm just going to run through these. So like I mentioned earlier, once a month I have like a private seller that I contact and make an order from for out of print BLs. Like I say, one of the goals in my collection is to collect all of the English printed BLs. So yeah, once a month I get basically a haul from her. So I'm just going to run through these. Like I said, these are all out of print, or like harder to get. So from 801 Media, which is defunct, we have Kiss Your Hair, Love is a Hurricane, volume 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Rawville, this is from Net Comics. So Rawville, volume 1 and 2. I think that's all of the English released volumes as well. And then we have Honey Senior and Honey Junior, volumes 1 and 2. And then Aegis, volume 4, 5 and 6. I just need to pick up volumes 1 and 2 for that, and that's finally complete. And then the most exciting like series that I finally have in my collection, which is quite hard to find, especially in good condition like this, is Incubus volume 1, 2 and 3, which these are quite chunky. So these are from Kitty Media, which again is a defunct publisher. Unfortunately, the whole series is not licensed in English, so we do have an incomplete series here, but the 3 volumes is what was released. So I am so happy that I've managed to like find this like unicorn and have it in my collection. And then from Yaoi Press, we have Exorcisms and Pogo Sticks volume 1 and 2. And then Yaoi Anthology 1 and 2. And then from Do Press, we have Oh My God, volume 1, volume 2. Blue, which was an imprint of Tokyo Pop. We've got Love Not and Love Is in the Night, again Fumi Yoshinaga. I love her work. And then from June we have This Night Is Everything, and that was good as well. So that is the out of print haul. And then lastly, I picked up a few art books as well, because I collect art books. This is it, guys. This is the last thing. So we have Flow, which is the creator of Cast Heaven, which, trigger warning, series, but I love that series. So this is the art book, which is cute. I love the fact that you know, it is a smaller art book, but I love the artwork in this as well. So as soon as I saw this of this creator's work, I was like, I have to pick that up. And I love this like acetate sort of cover as well. That's the cover, that's the front. But yeah, I love this, and I love the creator. Also recently I picked up Coffee. So this is the creator of YBC, Escape Journey, Amber Neon Lights, and Daisy Jealousy. Like, that's this creator. I have to say, like, this creator has one of my favourite like art styles as well, and I love actually in this that there is different they have done like a different kind of like style to like the colouring and everything. This is one of my favourite like images from YBC, if you can see. Like, absolutely gorgeous. Some light shining on there, but absolutely gorgeous. And I love, it's a matte finish as well, which I love. So yeah, I'm happy to have that in my art book collection. And then lastly, it's not a new release, but I wanted to mention it, and that is the Star Ember art book. Which comes with this little slip cover, if I can get it off. Star Ember's artwork is so gorgeous. Like, she did Heaven's Official Blessing manhwa, and like the detail in her artwork is just phenomenal, like absolutely incredible. Like, absolutely gorgeous. This here is one of my favourite images of Hwa-chan and Shailin. Just absolutely phenomenal. If you can get your hands on it, then go ahead and do it. Like, you'll not be disappointed. It comes with like a load of extras as well, like little posters and stuff. And there's even just like a section of like environments as well, from the manhwa, the webtoon. And I am waiting for 7Seas to pick up the license for the TGCF manhwa, because we're getting the MDZS, so they have to license this as well, because getting that, like, I've got the Chinese version, and it's just absolutely stunning. So I'm praying that with the success of like XTX's other work, that 7Seas are gonna license that, like they have to. But yes, that is everything, and I'm so sorry that this video is so long. If you got to the end, thank you. But what I'm gonna plan on doing is do a manga video once a month at least, of new releases and hauls, things that I've picked up, so we can get it all into one video, and it's not gonna be as long as this in the future. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed listening to me ramble all along, and I hope to see you in future manga videos as well. Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye everyone.